Hi Collective, welcome to my channel. I'm Crystal and I'm a psychic medium delivering messages here for higher realms for all of you. So I just did a romance angel reading, okay? And I wanted to pull some tarot and get a little bit more clarifications because I don't really like how I just left it. But that's what I was getting, right? Is I was getting this energy of a strong soulmate connection, but being in separation, but then there's new love too, right? And I really wanted to talk a little bit more about that because the reading that I was getting is it was like almost like I was saying that some of you need to disconnect from a relationship. You're going to be getting into another relationship and then could be coming back around again. And I was saying that maybe somebody needs to live out some fantasies and things like that because that's what was coming about. Because I feel very strongly a lot of passion and chemistry, and I really feel that like that's what's coming out. But it's more than just like a sexual fantasy that somebody needs to live out. I felt that's why I was guided to a part two. Because for some of you, like this is like a new contract that's coming in, especially for my earth angels and my light workers and starseeds that are guided to my channels. You need to know that, right? Especially like it's something I'm learning, investigating more of my chart and knowing that I have a lot of Leo in my chart and things like that, is that Leos, like, they love attention, right? They love to be very flirty, very fiery, all of that, but they often have a lot of connections, right? They tend to not settle down. Some Leos can go through life and not marry and things like that. And that's probably why I've never been married and I've gotten out of 2 engagements already. And Maddie. All right. And, you know, I'm really non-committal and things like that. Like, I get that. But also, I very much know that I'm a healer, right? And I know that I have a lot of contracts with people. I've known that, right? Where I offer healing, and yes, me also being a shaman, you know, I know that I can heal with my body, let's say that. Sexual healing and things like that. So, yeah, I very much know that. So what I'm getting here is like there's a new contract that's here, right? It's like this was always meant to happen this way because for whatever reason, like, right? Sometimes you come in contact with people when you're not ready, especially if you're on the twin flame collective. That's why there can be divinely guided separations that are needed. And I'm picking up very strongly that that's what was going on for somebody. And also children. Children are a big factor here in a relationship, right? See, children and soulmate. For some of you, like, some very important children have to be born too. Some demigods. Like, I've been picking up very strongly, and I've been seeing in the collective about spirit babies. There's some very important spirit babies that are supposed to be born. There's also, they're giving me this message, like, there's been some contracts that have not played out correctly. Like, there were some spirit babies that were supposed to already been born. And for whatever reason, maybe life circumstances, like, they weren't. So they're very important for the new earth. These spirit babies need to be born. So there could be realignments and new contracts and things like that happening. So sometimes there's change and altercations to certain contracts and plans. If you're not following me, don't worry about it, because I give collective readings, and if you're in alignment with what I'm talking about, then you're on the level of consciousness, right, to receive that message. Okay, so for some of you, it's like divinely guided separations need to happen for certain healing to take place. And maybe they're really pushing this sexual energy that I'm feeling very, very strongly because of these children and these spirit babies that need to be born. Right? I don't know if there's other like influences and movements and plans, or if I just have a lot of creative energy, so it's coming out very passionately because that is what I'm doing. I'm channeling all of my creative energy out into my readings at this time, right? Since, you know, I've been going through a separation and everything, but I've also been talking a lot with my angels and everything, and they've been letting me know, like twins, like, you're not supposed to wait around, right? you can't wait around, because you could be waiting around forever, right? If your twin, and sometimes your twin may not awaken, and that's why you have higher vibrational soulmates, right? But very strongly reconciliation and things like that were coming out. I'm getting like the next contract is here. I'm getting that there's like a twin, right? Or a soul, like if you don't register the twin flame collective, maybe I'm just talking about, you know, a very strong soulmate, because I was picking up past life soulmates. So this is someone that has a very, very strong connection with somebody, and maybe it was very, very challenging for the separation to happen. But I was picking up in the last reading that there was addictions, right? Somebody was falling to temptation. They fell to the devil, to addictions. So addictions were holding somebody back, right? And, you know, and going down a karmic pathway, like your twin's going to get guided away from you, right? If you fail these tests, because you can only be together if you're in alignment. So what I'm getting here is that somebody fell to the devil, fell to temptation, right? It could have been, you know, addictions to drugs, alcohol, sex. Really can have addictions to anything, but I'm picking up very heavily like addiction to drugs, right? Street drugs, pharmaceuticals, you know. I mean, all right. I'm just saying there's definitely drug addiction. Okay. That's going on here, and somebody needs to seek treatment. And needs to get help for that. And there is hope for that, but they need to seek treatment, get help. They need to then have forgiveness for themselves, right? And they need to, because that's the most important thing is that we forget to do, is to forgive ourselves and the people that we hurt and the things that we do. And you know what, it happens, and a lot of times it happens due to traumas, woundings. Like I said, for some of you, it wasn't just that like they were tempted by, like for some, it's like they got scared. See, especially with the twin flame connections, they're so powerful and so intense. That's why you often have the runner-chaser dynamic. Sometimes they can be so intense, especially sometimes people can come in like loving somebody so much that, you know, it scares them. They've never opened up and been that vulnerable, and if they're not ready to love yet, you know, they feel as though they're not good enough, so then they self-sabotage, and, you know, or it's out of fear, or whatever, you know, happens. So healing is needed here, all right? But this is definitely true love. This is definitely a true love story, right? But see, sometimes it's like, if you truly love somebody, like, that's why that saying is like, you let them go. Because if it's meant for to be, they'll come back around again, right? And it's like, I'm getting that there were two that were like very so much in love, right? But they were destroying each other. So a divinely guided separation need to happen, right? Okay. And, you know, there's going to be healing, and I'm getting reconciliation, I'm getting coming back together, but it's like there's another soul contract that's here, and maybe somebody, right, that's contracted and has more contracts that are needed for healing, right? So it looks like there's sometimes that needs to happen, right, where there's another contract that needs to come in. It's almost like, because sometimes somebody can come in and there can be a relationship and things like that, and it can cause a lot of healing and get you to realize, you know, that to come back together with somebody else, right? Especially when it involves the twins, right? I know it's not that way, and not everybody likes to hear that, but sometimes you hear those beautiful stories, right, where, you know, sometimes it's like the right person but the wrong time, but really it's like a trigger and a catalyst to change. Then sometimes you go live with somebody else, and you're just like, you know, it makes you realize how much you really do, you know, and then the time can be right and come back together. All right. So anyways, I wanted to explain that a little bit more. I really feel here that it's just like there's a divinely guided separation that's being current, and it's like the angels are guiding this, right? And yeah, it's more than just like a fling. And because I was explaining that last ring, like, and maybe for some of you, like somebody needs to get their finances and their career in order to, because finances and career and children are affecting, and I know that that's something big with me, is like, I know that I had 4 children, right? I had my children early, and so I had I had children with my karmic contracts that I had while I was still doing the healing and shadow work, and that my children are, they have the same woundings and the trauma, so it's very, very challenging, right? And that they've caused a lot of blockages, and like, it was like I took a chance at love, because I was like, I always knew I had to get myself straight, my kids, but I waited such a long time that I finally took the chance, and it ultimately did, ruin my relationship, because I know that, like, my children never left us alone. Like, literally, like, 2 dates. We only ever got to go on 2 dates, and the first date was literally just us coming back together and getting to see each other after 7 years, because it took us 7 years to get that far, because it was just so much was against us, and then we lost everything, and our families, just so much, right? So much goes into these twin flames, like all the double, everything coming after us, it was just too much, right? That's why, like, I had to release my lover, right? I had to be the one to save us by separating us, right? The time has come to clear your energy, right? Release your ex. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. These twin flames, and if you guys have watched or seen my channel, like you've, it's like you need to remember that, the future is not here yet. And there's, it's ever changing, things like that. That's why you really don't know how things are going to go. You just have to trust the situation is calling for you to have faith, right? Like, if you want, like, you need to focus on loving yourself. Ultimately, these twin flame connections teach you about loving yourself, right? Living life for you, being one with God, divine source, energy, right? Not putting anybody over yourself, loving yourself, living life, being happy, being, it's like, if you have feelings for other people, you're not ready yet. See? And romantic feelings, your feelings are real and worth exploring. Somebody wasn't getting fulfilled and was having feelings for more. Somebody was longing for more. I know I was longing for a spiritual experience. I want to be with somebody that is on a spiritual level with me, right? I tried everything to get my twin to awaken. It's like he could show me love in the physical, and it's like he was the same way. He didn't change, he didn't grow though. He stayed the same, and I grow and advanced my consciousness level and expanded, but he didn't. He stayed in the physical, in the 3D world, and it was holding me back. So that we were out of alignment. We were in alignment, they were out of alignment, right? Then all the stress that we're in children. I don't blame them. I really don't. But, fell to addictions, and then got trapped, went down the rabbit hole. So now he needs healing, right? So anyways, yeah, I'm definitely going to be having on those readings. 1414, I looked right at the clock when I seen that. All right, I wanted to do a reading where I do tarot, but I feel like this needed to be a part 2 where I needed to explain a little bit for somebody. If you don't feel guided to part 1, then don't. If you feel guided to it, check it out. But I'm going to do a tarot too, but I got to keep these short because I only got a little bit of hotspot data to use. All right, love and light to all of you. Watch wherever you feel guided to. 1440, there's definitely something with the force, and that's also letting you know that the angels are guiding you and are working with you in your love life. All right, bye guys.